Hello and welcome to Non-Stop Wrestling Chat. My name is Barry and this is Austin 316 Day here in the UK and in other parts of the world where it's the 16th for the 3rd, 21. But as we know, Austin's from America and it's 316 over there. So, yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Today we're kind of going to be talking about, pretty much we're going to be talking about things about Stone Cold Steve Austin, the cool things that have been happening through his career, the good matches he's had, what I enjoyed about it, and all kind of different stuff. So we're going to be chatting about that. I'm just kind of sharing it on Twitter just now, and then when we've got it on Twitter, we'll just get right into it. Also, it's the 17 now. Started this directly at 16, but yeah. I honestly thought I wasn't going to get here from work. I was so busy. I thought I was going to get catched up, but we're here. It's good. We're enjoying it. Just going to post this to Twitter, guys, and then we'll get into today's show. So I've got a Austin shirt on just to celebrate the man himself. This is normally my gym shirt, so it's a little bit tight for me. Two minutes, guys, we'll get this started. I'm just putting this up on Twitter. You know, I always forget that this is like this. It's set. So obviously the American dates are the other way around, like even 420. For us, it's the 20th of the 4th, which is so confusing. But aye. So we're going to get stuff started. We're going to get into it. And yeah, so we're just going to kick it off with, I'm going to go run through like top 10 matches of Austin. These change because there's some matches that I like better than others, but I'm going to try and stick to these kind of period in WWE. We're going to be speaking about Hollywood Blondes later as well. Other kind of stuff. We've got these moments that I liked as well, but we'll go through the top 10 matches first. So starting at number 10, descending to 1, is number 10, Austin versus Rock, WrestleMania 19, Austin's Goodbye. Now, this one's notorious for being not known for being Austin's last match, but it was. So, yeah, Austin's Goodbye at WrestleMania 19 was always a cool one. I don't think it was the best match that the two guys had, but it just means a lot, and it is such a good, enjoyable match as well. Number 9, we've got Austin versus Dude Love, Falls Count Anywhere match. I loved this one when I was younger. I honestly really thought that this was a really cool match. And I think I loved the Dude Love character when I was a kid as well. Can see got Caspian in the chat and Cody talks. Happy 316 Day, guys. Or the 16th for the 3rd, depending what country you're in. So number 8, I've got Austin versus Shawn at WrestleMania, which is when the notorious one that if you've watched Joe Rogan or you've listened to any shoot interviews, you'd have heard Taker was in the back wrapping his hands, waiting to go out there. Shawn wasn't going to drop the belt. It was a cool match. I thought it was okay. But I would probably put it up there because it was when Austin won the belt with Mania. I thought it was really cool. Number 7, Austin versus McMahon, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. This one has to be put in there just because that has to be one of the greatest feuds between a wrestler and an owner ever. I don't think anybody will ever get to that position again of just how much those two on screen hated each other. The amount of money they made as well was insane. Number 6, you've got Austin versus Taker, at SummerSlam '98. I loved this match as well. I did love the Taker and Austin feud with the Buried Alive match, First Blood match, stuff like that. I really like them, and I think it's kind of underrated a little bit, that kind of period as well. '98. Number 5. Sorry, I can see always talk wrestling. Happy 316 day, 16 the third day. Stone Cold and The Rock, that's coming up soon as well, man. We had the WrestleMania 19 at number 10, and I've got a few others up the list. So number 5 is Bret Hart versus Austin at Survivor Series 96. Man, I know, I was surprised when I was looking through it. Obviously, I was like, they must have had a match at Mania. Don't know why they didn't, especially in that '98 period when they were so hot against each other. They were just kind of going against each other every pay per view. I don't know why they just didn't have that feud. But yeah, Bret Hart Austin Survivor Series '96 is number 5. Number 4 is one that a lot of people haven't seen. It's Backlash '99 Austin versus Rock. I'd say this has to be one of the best matches that Austin and Rock both done. Austin had some personal stuff going outside, and it was just kind of like they just went for it. Such a good match. If you've not checked out Backlash '99, go check this one. Number 3, we've got Steve Austin versus Bret Hart versus Vader versus Undertaker in your house, Final 4. A great match. These 4 guys just went for it in this one, and I love because it was like Undertaker and Vader, Bret, Austin were on this like weird like food thing at this time, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed this one. 2, Austin versus Rock, WrestleMania 17. 17 is known for being one of the best cards in wrestling history, but this has to be one of the best matches. Topped it and main evented, and Austin turning heel when he was already kind of a heel, but turning turning real heel was terrible but good at the same time. And then number 1 has to be one of my favourite matches from WrestleManias, all the WrestleManias we've ever had, is Bret Hart versus Austin, WrestleMania 13. This one was insane. A submission match as well. You had Ken Shamrock there. And you just had these guys just having a great match. The known image, I think I had the poster somewhere, with Austin, the blood dripping down his teeth and stuff like that, is insane. Got Always Talk Wrestling. Taker versus Sting is like the ultimate Taker dream match. Taker ever wrestled Punk. That would have been cool. Yeah, man, Taker wrestled CM Punk a few times. I think he had a Mania match in Hell in a Cell. Had like a cool little go at each other. They're actually really good. If you've never checked them out, go have a little look at it. But Taker versus Sting would be like my dream dream match ever, because I'm such a big Sting fan and I was such a big Taker fan when I was younger. It would have just been a great match. On Michael's, guys, go check out this guy's podcast that we had him on a few weeks ago or a couple of days ago. Can't remember. Sorry, man. It's a ton of podcasts we've had recently. It was a great show, and you should definitely go check it, man. I know I was reading that as well. The Austin said he wouldn't have done the heel turn. It was such a weird thing, like because he was already a heel. Well, he was meant to be a heel, but everybody loved him. I think it was such a weird like dynamic, but it kind of worked. I suppose anything Austin can have done at that time worked. So we're going to move on to some of my beloved matches that a lot of people don't like is Hollywood Blondes. That's Austin and Pillman and WCW when we were a tag team. I love the Hollywood Blondes. I think it's such a cool concept of a tag team. The two of them look cool. You can tell Austin was balding at the time. I've experienced that feeling. And it was such a cool kind of team together. They had a few good matches. I've kind of picked my top 3 that you can go check out. So we're just going to kind of start. Yeah, I tried to get. There wasn't a big long run for them, but yeah, I'll get my top 3 here. So always talk wrestling. My dream match versus Taker versus Styles. Man, that's such a cool thing to already have that happen. The cinematic stuff, I think that was probably one of the best ones that they've done with cinematic. 100%, man. I loved that period as well, with just Austin being scared. And obviously, during that time, we had one of the best matches that was just threw out there, and that's that Austin versus Booker T in the kind of supermarket place, which was it's hilarious to go back and watch because you couldn't imagine people doing that now. Even a few years ago, before COVID, and then during COVID, you can't imagine somebody just kind of going to going to the shop and just beating the hell out of each other. So Hollywood Blondes, my top three matches: Hollywood Blondes versus Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. 2 out of 3 falls match. It's Clash of the Champions, and yeah, this was 1993. It was such a cool match. Then we've got Hollywood Blondes versus Dos Hombres, I think it is, the cage match at Slamboree '93. I only recently watched this one. I've seen it when I was younger and I've totally forgot about it, but I was kind of going through the network after I was doing Rated R's live stream, and this one came up, so I was kind of watching it. Such a cool little match that you just don't really, you wouldn't rate it if you were just kind of reading it, but it's a good match. Slamboree '93, go check it out. And then Hollywood Bronze versus Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas at Clash of the Champions, January 13th, 1993. This is a really cool match as well. And yeah, it just kind of, it's a really cool match. You should just go check Hollywood Blondes out completely. That younger Austin time when obviously you kind of had like a lot of stuff going on. WCW was whatever they were doing, holding people down and stuff like that. But it was a really cool moment in Austin's career. That younger kind of side. Obviously, then we went to WWF, and you think he got ruined because of the ringmaster at the start, till he got one of the best gimmicks. Well, kind of just being himself. So, always talk wrestling. No man, I've not seen WWE's recent video because I've been on work all day. But yeah, yeah, Nia Jax is Jax, isn't it? Like I'm not really, you can't really say anything. Yeah, man, I'm not a big fan of the AJ Styles going up against the New Day. They'll put on a good match. It's just to get the kind of bodyguard over, I think, but I'll kind of put on a good match. They all know how to go against each other, but I don't think it's going to be anything special. If you look back at the TNA days and stuff like that, it's all right. I mean, it's not really like a match that I'm excited for at Mania, but it'll be pretty cool. And like you just says, there's no a big push, no a big rush to kind of announce stuff at Mania. But yeah. So I'm going to go into my top Austin moments. Now, I tried to keep these as WWE. I've done 8. There's a ton of moments that I've probably forgot. If you're listening on the chat, let me know what your kind of top moment, Austin moment is. So I'm just going to start at number 8. Survivor Series 03, Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. Austin ended up losing. Sorry, spoiler if you're if you've not seen it. It was a hell of a match. Shawn Michaels was bloody as always at that time, and he was on Austin's team. It was like Austin had to trust people and stuff like that. It was such a cool moment. And then when Austin had to leave, it was pretty cool. Oh, it wasn't cool Austin was leaving, but it was cool kind of the situation that it was in. Man, AJ's been wrestling for a long time, so like I don't know. He's kind of said around about this time is when he would like to retire and stuff like that. So I don't think this will be a send off. I think he'll have like a good match, or he might end his time in WWE, go back to Impact for a little bit or something. I don't know. I just think I don't know. I think AJ's for the stuff that he does. Obviously, like you said, he's 43. He's not that much younger than what Edge is just now, who's challenging in the main event. So I'm guessing just for the way AJ moves and the kind of move style he does, he probably is coming to the end of his career. I'd probably say he's probably got another year or two. And then he'll probably move to, you might see him in a tag team. Maybe that's what he's doing. Kind of doing a tag team a little bit, get somebody else over on his way out and stuff like that. But surely time will tell us. Who knows what's going to happen in WWE at the minute. So number 7, the promo after King of the Ring, when Austin was born, has to be one of the best promos ever. a kind of lackluster King of the Ring. You know, Jake the Snake Roberts in it, and that match wasn't that great. Austin won it. You kind of just think it's okay. And then he cuts that promo and he just never looks back, which is just insane. Number 6, we've got Pillman's Got a Gun. If anybody remembers this, let us know in the comments, because this is one of the most awkward things ever when he's actually got a real gun or a supposed real gun on TV. There was a lot of complaints. The TV network complained to WWE, and this was at the point when Vince McMahon realised, right, cool, so there's a line that we can't cross, but we can go up to that line. Number 5 is ECW shoot interviews. If you've not seen any of Austin's ECW shoot interviews, go check it out. It's insane. It really, really is insane. Paul Heyman just let him do what he wanted, and he was angry at WCW, which made it so much better, so much cooler of him just kind of moaning at Eric Bischoff and stuff like that. That gimmick when he's got the phone and he's like, "Oh, the way can you even phone me? You fax me and stuff like that." It's hilarious. You should definitely go check it out. Yeah, man, but the style for Lashley's a wee bit different. Like he's kind of got the kind of big man style, so it's a little bit different compared to what AJ's style is. If AJ's already slowed his style down a little bit, but I think he probably will stay for another 4 years. If you look at all the guys that are kind of there now, you've got Edge, Lashley, and then AJ. They can kind of hang around it. Good if they're in good health and stuff like that. As long as they can stay, the better it's going to be, really. Let's see. On my that invasion angle is one of my guilty pleasures in wrestling history. I know it's doesn't live up to what everybody expected. You didn't have the big guys of like Goldberg, Sting, and all that kind of stuff coming in. But I was at that age. I was at Mark for Chronic as well. So when they were in, I loved it. You had DDP, you had a few other guys, and I really liked it. I like seeing the ECW guys. Now, a terrible booking, honestly, really, really terrible booking. But yeah, I still liked it. It's still a guilty pleasure for me. Yeah, man, Randy again. He's been in it for years. I remember when I was 10 or 10, 9 or something. He was kind of just getting into wrestling, so he's been in it for a long time. Number 4, guys, for the moments, for Stone Cold's greatest moments, number 4 is Stone Cold and the Corporation beer truck segment. Raw, March the 22nd, 1999. If you've not seen it, go check it out. This moment, I was 7, I think it was 7, and I remember seeing it on the TV, and I popped. I just remember seeing it and I popped, and then obviously Angle had the one a couple of years later with the milk truck, which was insane as well. Number 3, we've got Austin Rock feud. Just there's so many moments in it. There's just so many moments in that one. Literally, there's like you think the promos, the Rock cutting those great promos, the Rock just being the Rock, Austin having obviously great promos, throwing the belts in the water and stuff like that. It was insane. I loved that feud completely. Man, the whole Austin McMahon thing is just that's literally the next one. So number 2 is the Austin McMahon feud. That I thought that was insane. I loved that as a kid. It's just kind of going against like the boss, the person telling you what to do. At that time, it was obviously for me, it was like going against teachers and stuff like that. We used to get into trouble all the time, doing like Stone Cold Stunners, the DX sign, circuit sign, stuff like that. So number 1 is again number 1 has to be. You know what? I'm trying to decide a number 1 here. I would probably say he's Bischoff feud. So his feud that he had with Bischoff, just because he spoke about it, he was speaking. He wasn't really in the ring as much as what what he had been in the past, and he had to like do kind of different stuff. He really spoke about just kind of getting better on the mic and stuff like that. And I loved that Survivor Series 03 match. That's when I was really into wrestling, when I kind of remember it a little bit more. And that just whole build up to that 03 was just insane. Now, I know it's not everybody's best one. I probably would say number one would probably be the King of the Ring 96 promo, but I loved that Stone Cold Bischoff kind of whole thing. It was pretty cool. Yeah, man, it was a bit odd, but I just loved it. Now that booking at that time as well, which was always quite weird. And then if you expand it into like TNA and stuff like that as well, when you got Scott Hall turning up, Kevin Nash, and you had Hogan in Japan and stuff, it was so weird. Like it was this wrestling was still so over the place with like how everything kind of WCW going out of business. Yeah, man, it was pretty cool. The pay per view itself, the Invasion pay per view, which is nothing you should go check out, but it is pretty cool. They have that kind of time as well when they're bringing the belts in, and then have the unified kind of thing when they're doing like the tournament at Vengeance, I think it was 2001. I want to say, was pretty cool. I enjoyed that tournament, and it was just cool seeing ECW do one ring. But it would have been better if you had like the bigger WCW guys like Hogan, Hall, Nash, Goldberg, Sting, even Luger, because what is it? He had Bagwell turn up for like one SmackDown, then he got sent back home. So just like they didn't really know what to do. I honestly think WWE didn't really think they were going to get them. I think Vince put an offer in and was like, they're obviously not going to sell the competition to me, and they done it. So that's what I would have done. The way it was booked just seemed like they weren't expecting it. So I'm kind of just looking over the other stuff that I've wrote down here. Favorite theme song was another thing that I says. For me, favorite theme song has to be that Glass Shattering. It was just so cool when you heard it and you knew shit was going down when Austin was coming out. But the 2002 kind of Disturbed one was insane as well. I thought that was pretty cool, the kind of new rock stuff. Obviously, it was when he was like the weird heel guy. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. Right, guys, so that's my kind of Austin live stream special thing. I thought I'd jump on here, do this before I head back out to work. I need to change this weirdly small t-shirt. Guys, this is normally my gym t-shirt, like I says, and it's insanely small for me. So that's going to be getting changed before I head to work. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back here tomorrow for the Impact Wrestling review. And I've got a few podcasts I'm recording this week. So I've got 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, 1 tomorrow, and 1 Thursday. They'll be up the day after each of them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed them. Yeah, man, Glass Shatters has to be the best. It has to be the best. Just before I go, that time for me when I was younger and I heard the rock music and stuff, I loved it. But yeah, I know he says quite a lot. It wasn't his favourite, but I suppose he's a little bit older and stuff like that. He wouldn't be appreciating the the early 2000s rock. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.